Hello everybody, ladies and gents. Welcome to my Australian Open quarterfinal preview video. All of the remaining matches in the top half of the draw just ended earlier today. And we have 8 players that had advanced to the second week, the toughest task in Grand Slam, to win. Of course, it's a tough task to win one match, but advance to the second week means that we have accomplished a good result in this tournament. We had some upsets today. Medvedev lost to Wawrinka, and Zverev won against Rublev. Nadal beat Kyrgios, and Dominic Thiem beat Monfils. And before I'm gonna go into my preview, I just want to mention a little bit about the matches that had played earlier today. First, I would like to go into Dominic Thiem's performance. This hard-hitting Austrian Terminator who has an explosive arsenal of shots that push everybody back from corner to corner, that when he is in his striking zone. Due to his long swing, he has improved his game a lot, and he has a more suitable game on hard court under his new coach Niklas Massoud. 8, and will meet Rafael Nadal, his all-time nemesis. And what can we say? It's a difficult task. Showed no mercy against Gael Monfils, and only did 19 unforced errors in this match, and created, I think it was 31 winners. And he returned superb today, and he won 84% of his first serves and 75% of his second serve, and that numbers give you a superior advantage against your opponent. And Gael Monfils is not the guy that have a plan B or plan C when he meets a better player. Either he wins or he loses. He loses either in fashion way or in a superior performance like Dominic Thiem put up today. So that was really no question about that performance. He looked solid, Dominic Thiem. And another match was between Stan the Man Wawrinka against Medvedev. In advanced, a baseline duel, a showdown from the baseline. Everybody expected this match to be an interesting and tough battle, but not with the outcome of a winner of Wawrinka. He surprised everybody. Everybody knows Wawrinka is a superb player, because when he hits his ground strokes, when everything clicks and works for him, if it doesn't click and everything works for him, he is a hell of a opponent to play against. And Novak have experienced that before, Nadal has experienced that before, and Federer also. He has beaten those guys in Grand Slams before, so he's not a newbie. I think he's ranked number 15 right now, but he had a terrible year 2018 and started to get better in 2019. And in this match, Wawrinka does always what he does. When he plays good, he hit an enormous amount of winners. He hit 71 winners today, but he also did many unforced errors today. 61, I think. 61 or 64 unforced errors, I forgot. But anyway, they had similar stats. If you look at the stats from the match, many of the stats were similar, but he won more points on his first serve and was more clutch on the big moments. And he only won 9 points more than Daniil Medvedev, who had the chance. He came back and took the third set also. At the same, Rafael grabbed the first set 6-3, then Nick grabbed the second set 6-3, and then Rafa won 2 straight tie breaks. And if you want to beat Rafa, you know what to do. You have to be consistent. No question about it. Rafa performed the whole match, but you shouldn't let Rafa win the first set, because when Rafa wins the first set, it's an upper hill. It's almost impossible to catch him. It's after the first set if you lose that set, all right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So like Rafa, Nick doesn't have a comfort zone.